Okay, so welcome everyone. So let's start our Monday session, the first one in over a month. So for those who are used to it, you know what to do. We're first gonna give ourselves a nice little stretch to get our body in a nice disposition. So follow me. If you can do this, don't hesitate to move yourself around. Even take a deep breath in and out. And whenever you feel, really ready, if you've been standing up to shake your body, sit down again. Close your eyes. And first, I'm gonna invite us to just becoming aware of the weight and space that our body occupies. So feeling how heavy our body is, where we're sitting, feeling the contact of our bum onto our seat, appreciating that weight, that gravity gives us, and moving our attention all the way down into our feet and feeling the weight of our feet on the ground. And even pressing our feet into the ground for a second, feeling the earth underneath as a way to connect and acknowledge the presence of the earth underneath us. And maybe having a second of a thank you thought, a gratitude thought for the earth. And maybe as a response, you can even start feeling the energy coming from the earth a little bit more vibrantly. And once you've done that, bring in your awareness, your focus all the way up from your feet, up your legs, up your body, into your chest. And in the middle of the chest, into the heart. And here you might want to bring a hand over your heart, touching your heart. Or maybe you're just tuning in. And maybe you can feel your heart beating in your chest. Or maybe in a weird way, you can even hear it. And as you do this, and as soon as you start to feel connected with this place, with your heart, just imagine, visualize as if your breath is flowing in and out directly through the heart. And as you're visualizing your breath entering your heart, flowing out from your heart, I'm gonna invite you to also harmonize and balance the rhythm of your breathing. So as you're seeing your breath flowing in and out through the heart, just make it a little bit slower than you usually breathe. And make it a little bit more regular than it usually is. So that your in-breath and your out-breath last about the same amount of time. And you might, if that helps, use the visualization of your breath flowing in and out of the heart. As you're seeing the breath entering your heart, see it flowing out at the exact same pace that it flows in. We'll just keep breathing in that calm, relaxed way for another minute together before we move into the next step. Okay, and you might start to feel a sense of calm coming over you with this very specific heart-centered breathing that we've been doing now. And from this state, this place of calm, first I'm going to invite you to bring your awareness to the future for a moment and to remind yourself of what is your vision for your future. What is the vision that you have for your life? And if that seems too far distant, what is the goals that you have for a shorter term future? Just a way to remind ourselves where we want to move forward to in life. What is the direction that we are aiming for? So maybe you know, maybe you're clear on your life vision, or maybe you're clearer with a shorter term. Maybe you have a 5-year plan. Maybe it's just this year that you're very clear about. That's okay. Remind yourself of that. And if you're not clear on a long-term vision, maybe just make a note of it, that maybe it's something you want to work on separately, and get more clear about. But just notice whether you have that clear or not. And just as you remind yourself of your future goal, whether it's few years in time or just 1 year or just a few months or just even this month. Once you're done that, we are now going to move on to contemplate the very recent past. So I'm going to invite us right now to switch our attention to remembering what has happened last week. How did our past week unfold? And here, even though if you wish, you can focus on a single aspect, maybe just work or something specific that's important to you, you can do that, absolutely. But I would encourage you, if possible, to contemplate your life in general, everything that has happened in the past week, and looking at what did work well for you and what you think didn't work so well? So what did work well? Absolutely. What do you want more of? What do you want to maintain? What do you want to expand on? What do you want what do you want more of? And on the other hand, what didn't work so well? What would you want to change or let go of? What do you want less of? You can see what's coming to you. Could be in your work life or family, your intimate relationships, friends, leisure, sports, community, spiritual life, anything that's important to you in your life. And we'll spend another minute or two in this contemplation. Okay, what has been working well, what hasn't been working as well as you wished. And welcome this information in a neutral way, even the things you want less of. Just welcome it as information. Don't judge it. Don't beat yourself up for it. Just notice it. And now let's ask ourselves a question. If this past week was to repeat itself next week and the week after and over, a version of last week was going to repeat itself in the future, what kind of trajectory would it start to draw? Would it set up a trajectory that is pointing towards your vision, your goals? Is that trajectory somehow at least pointing in the general direction of your vision for the future? Or is it going off track? And again, just notice, there's no right or wrong here. Just gives us an awareness. It just gives us some information about where we're at. So if it's pointing in the right direction, fantastic. We're just going to expand on that. And if it's not, if it's pointing off track, we're gonna start to course correct. So this is just all useful information, valuable information to be aware of. Okay, so once you've noticed that, let's move on to the next step, where now I'm gonna invite us to engage our imagination. So now let's imagine a perfect week to come. What would the ingredients of a perfect week be? And first, let's focus our imagination on everything that's in our control. So if everything that is in our control was to work perfectly well, was to work as planned, what would the week look like? What would you be doing? What would you be investing your time and energy in? What the results would be if everything that was in your control was working perfectly fine with the best possible outcomes? What would you realize? What would you make happen? What decisions would you make? What actions would you take? And what would it look like? How productive would you be? How effective would you be? How receptive would you be? So just take a moment to imagine, again, the best possible scenarios. And now that is everything that's in our control, but as we know, not everything is in our control. So now let's move on to imagine if everything that's not in our control was to also turn into our favor, was to have a positive outcome. What would the week look like? Maybe there are some decisions that you're waiting for, some answers you're waiting for from other people, some resolutions that you're waiting on, that you don't know whether it might or might not happen and what way it will happen, but now you're imagining that it's happening for the best. And don't limit yourself, just allow your imagination to be overly optimistic. And that was everything that you know is not in your control. But what about all of the unexpected? So now let's move your imagination onto imagining surprises. What could unexpectedly be put on your path next week? That would be great news. And again, allow your imagination to be wild. We are not even trying to be realistic here. What can you possibly imagine could happen in your life next week that would be awesome? That would bring you closer from your goals for the month, the year, that would perfectly align with your vision for yourself, for your life. And now I'm going to invite us to set an intention, to be open and receptive to anything that we are not even able to imagine right now. So that we are trusting that the universe holds infinite possibilities, and that even our imagination is only so big, and that there are many other possibilities out there that we're not even able to grasp yet. So here, just set that intention that anything out there in possibilities that is matching with your vision, your goals, that you're also open to welcome that in your life, even if it looks widely different from what you've been imagining now. So you're willing to welcome anything that looks different, sounds different, feels different than your current paradigm, as long as it's aligned with your vision, with what you want for your future. Okay, and now, as you've set that intention, now I would like to invite you to notice how you are feeling. How are you feeling as you're imagining what your future could look like in best possible circumstances? How do you feel? Can you name a feeling? You might not. It's okay either way. Where do you feel that feeling in your body? Where is it? You might or might not identify a specific place. It's okay either way. What color is that feeling, if that feeling had a color? What shape and what temperature that feeling has, if it does? Just allow yourself to feel that feeling. And now we're gonna make that feeling more vibrant. So now I'm gonna invite you to imagine, to visualize as if this feeling is entering into your heart and flowing out from your heart with each of your breaths. Exactly like we've been doing at the start of this meditation. So now with each breath, just imagine that this feeling is entering, flowing into your heart when you breathe in, and flowing out from your heart when you breathe out. And that every time you do this, it becomes stronger and stronger. Every time you breathe in, imagine that feeling flowing into yourself, flooding your body where you can feel it intensely. Every time you breathe out, this feeling is flowing out from your heart with equal intensity. And every time you breathe in and out and feel that feeling flowing into your heart and out from your heart, just imagine as if it is somehow charging up your heart. Your heart is bursting with this feeling. And now we're going to enter the last phase of this meditation, and I'm going to invite you to imagine now that you're unleashing the full power of your heart to shoot out this feeling out into the space in front of you, and imagine as if this feeling is opening up a portal right in front of you, like in a sci-fi movie. As you're breathing in and out, and on your out breath, seeing that feeling flowing out from your heart like a laser beam, and imagine, visualize as if it's opening up a portal in space and time right in front of you. It's opening up a portal to that new trajectory that you want to step into, a new timeline that is aligned with the high vibration state that you have just generated within yourself. So now I'm going to invite you in your mind's eyes to imagine that you're walking through this portal. And as you're walking through this portal, you're stepping into a new timeline for this week that is holding a reality that is matching the vibration that you've just created within yourself. That vibration that is high, that is infused with positive outcomes, positive opportunities, supporting connection, supporting ideas. So imagine that you're walking into this portal, into a new timeline, a timeline that is aligned to the trajectory that is pointing towards your vision. And there, for a moment, just enjoy connecting with this new reality, new timeline that you've just stepped into. taking some deep breath. Allow yourself to feel that you're connecting with this new high vibration reality. Every time you breathe in, you're connecting on a deep level with all of the information in the field that is going to support you in the week to come with possibly new ideas, new opportunities that you'll be able to attract, connecting you with possibly new people that are matching with your new energy. And as you're doing this, I'm going to invite you now to press your thumb and index finger together. Bring your thumb and index finger together and press them together. And set that intention that this feeling, this gesture, this movement of your thumb and index finger together is now an anchor for this high vibration feeling, so that at any moment during the week, when you feel yourself drifting off, when you feel that possibly you're letting your energy fall down again to a lower vibration, that you're catching yourself possibly drifting back to your old trajectory, all you need to do is press your thumb and index finger together to bring yourself back instantly to this high vibration state that you're in right now. This will be your reminder, your quick anchor to bring yourself back when you need to. Now release your thumb and index finger and practice for a few moments. Bring them back together again, feeling your inner state as you do this, and release and touch your index and thumb together again, and really connecting that every time you're touching your two fingers together, you are bringing to your awareness more vibrantly this state that you're in right now. Okay, and now, if you feel confident that you've anchored this feeling into this thumb and index finger anchor, now it's time to slowly bring ourselves back to the here and now. And the here and now, that is the start of a new timeline, remember, at least until next week when we reset. So I'm going to invite you to rub your hands together until you feel them warming up. And then touching the top of your head. And from the top of your head, slowly touching every part of your body, starting with your face, going down into your neck, your shoulders, your arms, back on your chest, the front of your body, as you can, the sides of your body, as much of your back also as you can, touching your legs, your knees, your lower leg, all the way down to your feet. And if you can, touching your feet, if you can, even touching the ground with your hands, as anchoring yourself again into the earth. And once you've done that, slowly but surely opening your eyes again. And maybe giving yourself another stretch. Certainly feels like it myself. Having a good stretch. Okay. Now, so thank you so much. So remember, bring your index and thumb together, whenever you feel yourself drifting, as a quick way to bring yourself back into this state. And don't hesitate to re-listen to the recording that I will send later. Maybe you might want to pause it at certain places to give yourself more time to contemplate. And thank you so much for spending this time with me. And I shall see you next week. Thank you very much.